There's so many types of watches out there. It can be overwhelming if you don't know what is an overpriced watch and what is actually quality. The Reddit page R Watches actually has a pretty good community, and it can be helpful picking through all of the options out there and making sense of it all. They've got a helpful brand guide going over different price points: consumer, enthusiast, quasi-luxury, entry-level luxury, luxury, high-end luxury, and even ultra-luxury. But they don't have a category on Bitcoin watches. So today, I'll show you 4 different watches inspired by Bitcoin. Starting with a bang is the Hublot Big Bang Mecca 10 P2P. Hublot is considered a high-end luxury brand, so we're starting out this list heavy. And this is a skeleton watch, so you can see the insides and appreciate the cool movement going on. And P2P is obviously not random. It's a reference to Bitcoin being peer-to-peer. This watch will cost you $25,000. High-end luxury, remember. Now, you can get this on the secondary market, but at the time of its release in 2018, you could only purchase this from Hublot with Bitcoin, the equivalent of $25,000. They also have other options on the Big Bang line, and if you look at these pieces, you could almost argue that they all have a Bitcoin steampunk technology vibe to them. I think the King Gold looks really good. And if I had to make a Bitcoin watch, that's the color scheme I would use. But Hublot chose this interesting black and blue. It's got a 45mm wide ceramic case, so if you're a small-wristed man or woman, it's gonna look pretty big on you. In-house movement with a 10-day power reserve. Very impressive. And if you're wondering about the 10 o'clock marker, it's because this came out as a celebration of Bitcoin's 10 years. Very nice. It's got a leather strap lined with rubber, so your sweat won't ruin it. You know, this is a watch you can sweat in. You know, that kind of detail, a lot of thought put in, which is what you would expect. Got a little circuit board design on the strap because, you know, computers. On the back, you've got some interconnected dots, which, based on their placement, Hublot must have looked at a map showing public Bitcoin full nodes. Greenland and Madagascar, you gotta step it up. There were only 210 of these made. It seems they thought scarcity might increase the price. Just a very impressive watch. I wouldn't say it's beautiful, but I like it a lot. A very nice tribute. I might be in the minority though, because looking through some of the feedback from others online, not good.
It feels like another lame attempt at relevancy by jumping on another bandwagon, though. The more and more that they do this, the lower my respect for this company falls. What's next? A Fortnite-themed Hublot?
And just when I thought Hublot couldn't get any douchier, this watch should come with a fedora and a vape.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. CryptoMatic is considered a micro brand. You won't actually find them listed here, but they are a legitimate company and a legitimate watchmaker. Out of all the watches I'll be showing today, CryptoMatic is really the OG Bitcoin watchmaker. Originally creating Bitcoin watches back in 2014. 2014! That was during the long Bitcoin winter, with a much smaller community, concerns about the future of Bitcoin, the bear whale lurking around. If you hadn't heard about the bear whale, well, back in 2014, whales were an issue. People were concerned about them manipulating the market. I mean, they do that today. So obviously, it was happening back then. The bear whale was this guy who, when the price of Bitcoin was about $350, put out an order to sell 30,000 Bitcoin at $300, basically dropping the price immediately and eating up the order book. The guy later came out and said he just wanted to sell his Bitcoin quickly and didn't want to sit around and wait all day, but it really doesn't make sense. I think he was trying to crash the market. I think the general consensus is that he was trying to crash the market. But the point I'm making in all of that is to say, back in 2014, Bitcoin was not an enthusiastic market, and CryptoMatic deserves some credit for selling a Bitcoin-related product for Bitcoin back then. Here's the watch, the Hodler Silver. This is only $700. I say only, I know that's still a lot of money, but it seems small compared to the Hublot we just looked at. 42 millimeter case with some unique time telling for the hours, minutes, seconds. Sapphire crystal, which you expect on those luxury watches, but it's nice to see here. A critic might say this looks like a scale you step on at the doctor's office, but I like the minimalist style. It's really cool. It's just the right amount of Bitcoin with that B seconds hand. It's not intuitive to read the time quickly, but I'm sure you would get used to it. Their website also says it comes with a leather strap, so probably switch it out for the leather. Either is appropriate for work, but the leather probably makes more sense for everyday situations. 42-hour power reserve, so you don't have to wear it every day to keep time, but almost. CryptoMatic offers other designs with the Bitcoin logo, but I think those are a little tacky. Looks more like a toy, not something that is almost $1,000. These 2014 models, called the CryptoMat, you can only get secondhand now. And I'm not sure if the price has gone up. I had a little bit of trouble finding any for sale right now. Their movements are Japan-made Myota, which I believe are pretty popular movements used in a lot of watches you can buy out there. I'm not geeky enough to really speak on movements, but in general, I think it's likely higher quality than Chinese movements and probably lower quality than Swiss movements. Next up, a slightly more well-known brand, Chronos Twist. Chronos Twist actually created a whole line of watches based on cryptocurrencies called the Blockchain Collection, with 5 different pieces using their flying regulator design. I think it's a really amazing looking watch. This Chronos Twist movement is used in dozens of their watches, and I can see why. It's just cool looking. It looks expensive, and it is. It's a little more than $8,000. Just like the Hodler Silver, it's got a 42-hour power reserve. My Seiko watch, I gotta wear this every day for a long period of time for it to keep power. But with this, you can keep time for a day or two. A very nice onion crown, sapphire crystal. My Seiko watch is mineral glass, scratches much easier, and this watch too is limited edition with just 101 pieces. Now you might be asking, what are these other cryptocurrencies that they decided to make a watch around? We can check CoinMarketCap. Market cap doesn't mean everything, but it's a pretty good indication, is your project legitimate or not. Maybe Ethereum? Yes, they have an Ethereum watch, also limited to 101 pieces. But what else? XRP? Litecoin? No, it's worse than that. If we scroll down a bit, they chose NEM. Okay? A little strange to make a NEM watch. And the other?
σίδερα αναμένω έχω στην καρδιά. Είναι η δική σου αγάπη που με τυραννά. Θα έχω σ' όλη τη ζωή μου βάρος στη συνείδησή μου για τα τόσα σφάλματά μου που σε διώξαν μακριά μου. Έφυγε, 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 την έχω χάσει και γυρνώ και ρωτώ και τους δρόμους έχω πιάσει. Απ' τον ύπνο μου ξυπνάω κι όλο σε ζητώ. Τώρα έχω καταλάβει πόσο σ' αγαπώ. Θα έχω σ' όλη τη ζωή μου βάρος στη συνείδησή μου για τα τόσα σφάλματά μου που σε διώξαν μακριά μου. Έφυγε, 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 την έχω χάσει και γυρνώ και ρωτώ και τους δρόμους έχω πιάσει.
Kamsa. F***ing Kamsa. What? What is Chronos Twist doing? Is anyone going to buy an $8,000 watch that is themed with the most unknown cryptocurrency imaginable? It's unbelievable. Those will never sell. I'm willing to bet that no one, not a single person, except for people working at Chronos Twist, I bet 0 of those have been sold. I cannot believe they made 101 and they are trying to charge $8,000. I mean, I'm sure they are nice watches, but it's better off stripping these for parts. If you're watching this, appreciate how early we are in Bitcoin. The fact that there are people out there, that there are companies out there who don't understand why cryptocurrencies have value, you know, just appreciate how early we are. But back to the watch I actually wanted to show you. Just like the cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin one is the best one, and probably the only one you can sell for more in the future. Stainless steel, 41 millimeters. You know, on the exposed back, it's actually not so simple to slap a B onto the automatic winding movement, you know. It's objectively a nice looking watch. Nice strap. Okay, do you care? Let's move on to the next one. Thank you for sitting through that long scroll. To wrap things up, I wanted to change it up and show a lady's watch. But this is a special watch. Remember at the beginning I showed you a high-end luxury watch? There's actually a step higher than that. And I'm talking ultra luxury. A Franck Muller. I mean, you know it's fancy because of the way Frank is spelled. This Encrypto Collection watch is listed at $48,880. Something for your wrist, worth more than most cars you see out on the road. Is it worth it? Well, when you get to this price range, it becomes more about being a piece of art than it is about watchmaking. Although, it is a finely constructed automatic watch. It's loaded with 340 diamonds, which I'm sure pictures don't do it justice. Also, if you look at the top, yes, that's a QR code for a Bitcoin address. Each watch has its own Bitcoin address, so not only could you rock this expensive watch, you can load a Bitcoin, or 10 Bitcoin, or 1,000 Bitcoin, whatever amount you want, truly making this watch be worth more than any other watch made on Earth. And this isn't necessarily a cash grab on Bitcoin billionaires. This team really tried to make a great Bitcoin watch. It's partly obscured, but if you look at the background, there is another QR code on there. And they let you customize that with options to make it the Genesis block address, the Mt. Gox cold wallet, the Laszlo pizza purchase address, or something important to you. It's cool to see that people seem to know their Bitcoin history, or at least have a sense of humor. Other things you would expect in this price point: the 38mm case covered with diamonds, 18 karat gold, hand-brushed hour markers. This is something that, from design to production, was all labored over by Swiss watchmakers, and that whole Swiss tradition is something watch people really respect. Besides all that, this watch is just fun to look at. It is a ladies' watch, but if you're an eccentric rich guy, you could definitely pull that off. Especially an eccentric Bitcoin guy. You can absolutely pull it off. Your collection can't be full of just massive military, dark color Batman assault watches. Sometimes you gotta take out the crazy colors. What do those pickup artists call it? Peacocking? This is a peacocking watch. If I were to describe this watch to you, I would probably make it sound like a toy, but actually seeing it is pretty cool. And I'm sure if I had one in person, I'd be wearing it and it would be popping off my wrist. Okay, there's the watches. Thanks for watching. Get it? Let me know in the comments what you're wearing. I'm always interested in that stuff. And thanks again. Peace.
I'm getting